Some stories stay with people because they're dramatic.
But others stay with them because they felt real.
Not imagined, not dreamed, not mistaken.
Tonight's story comes from someone who didn't believe in the paranormal.
Until one night in a student flat, something appeared beside him in the dark.
Hello, and welcome back to This is a Ghost Story.
The podcast where we explore paranormal experiences and the people forever changed by them.
I'm Alison.
I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Andrew, producer of the show.
And this episode is called The Stirling Spectre.
So, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent.
Although, I'll be honest, this story creeped me out a bit.
Yeah, I think all of them do, don't they? We're doing well so far.
This is a good sign. Creep us all out. Excellent. Yep.
Yeah, there's something about this story that feels personal.
I think it's because it's very believable.
Exactly. No haunted asylum, no ghost hunt.
Just your standard student flat.
And someone who absolutely did not believe in the paranormal.
Those are always the stories that grab me the most.
Because he's not trying to convince anyone that ghosts exist.
In fact, he spent most of his life convinced they didn't.
Until one night in June 2003.
The detail that comes later in this story genuinely makes me shudder. Now, the person who sent this is an acquaintance of mine. We support the same football team and are in a group chat where we all moan about another crap season. So we're always chatting about football. He's not into this stuff at all. He's a bloke's bloke. He never believed any of it until this happened to him. His name has been changed for anonymity. We are calling him William.
Brace yourselves, people. Here we go.
This is a ghost story.
The story takes place in June 2003 in Stirling, Scotland.
And more specifically, one of the oldest parts of the town.
A place with centuries of history behind it. And naturally, centuries of death as well.
At the time, our witness, who we'll call William, was at university.
And by his own admission, he was the biggest skeptic imaginable.
Ghosts weren't real. Spirits weren't real. And paranormal stories were nonsense.
One night, he was at a friend's flat hanging out with a group of mates.
We'll call the friend Michael.
At some point during the evening, William's girlfriend phoned him, upset.
One of her childhood friends had recently been diagnosed with cancer.
So emotionally, it was already quite a heavy conversation.
Not wanting everyone overhearing, William went through into Michael's bedroom for privacy.
He sat talking on the phone for around 15 minutes.
And while he was listening to his girlfriend speak, he suddenly became aware of something strange.
He later described it as a feeling before he saw anything.
It was as if he could sense something looking directly at him.
That horrible instinctive feeling that you're not alone. Building up courage, he then turned his head.
Roughly 2 feet away from him was a face.
Not solid, not transparent.
William said the best way he could describe it was that it looked like it was somehow there and not there at the same time.
Almost glowing, almost fading out.
Like an image struggling to stay visible. He could make out human features, eyes, a nose, a beard.
But the entire thing seemed wrapped in what he described as an ethereal light.
And despite only seeing it for a moment, It terrified him instantly.
His immediate reaction was denial.
No chance. I've imagined that.
So, he looked again.
And the face was still there.
Just staring back at him.
William immediately ended the phone call, stood up, walked straight back into the living room, and said absolutely nothing.
He sat with his friends for the rest of the night trying to rationalise it.
Convincing himself stress, fatigue, low lighting. Anything except what he thought he'd seen.
Eventually everyone left until it was only William and Michael remaining in the flat.
And then finally, William decides to say something.
He says,
Mate, you're going to think I'm off my head here, but earlier in your room, I saw this guy's face.
And instantly, Michael goes completely pale.
as white as a sheet.
Then Michael asked him one question.
Did he have a beard?
A few nights earlier, Michael's girlfriend, who we'll call Susan, had stayed over at the flat.
During the night, she woke up screaming.
Terrified because she claimed there was a bearded man standing inside the bedroom.
William had never been told this before.
No suggestion, no prior knowledge, nothing.
And there was another strange detail William later discovered. On the opposite side of the building was a spiritualist church.
Now, whether that means something or nothing at all is up to you.
William says he's never experienced anything like it since.
But he also admits he's never been quite the same skeptic afterwards.
This is a ghost story.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
no.
my goodness.
Mr.
Yeah.
Beard, no.
Oh, yeah,
Please
Mr.
get back.
Weirdy beardy.
No,
Oh.
thank you.
Poor William.
Oh, I know, right? The part that genuinely gets me is the description of it being there and not there simultaneously.
Yep. Freaked me out.
Because it's weirdly consistent with how a lot of people describe apparitions.
Not solid ghosts in white sheets, Scooby-Doo style.
But almost distorted, like half visible.
It's like your brain can't fully process what you're looking at.
And I think the feeling beforehand is important too.
The perception.
That sense that somebody's watching you before you even physically see anything. Oh, it puts the shivers down your spine.
Most people have experienced that feeling at some point.
But usually there's nobody there.
Also, the beard detail is still impossible to ignore.
That's the thing that pushes this story beyond coincidence for me.
Because if Michael had already told him the story beforehand, fine.
Suggestion? Power of the mind?
But according to William, he knew absolutely nothing.
And that is what makes it so unnerving.
Stirling itself has a long reputation for paranormal stories.
Which isn't surprising considering how old parts of it are.
Exactly. Battles, executions, William Wallace, disease, centuries of conflict.
A lot of emotional history.
Now, scientifically, experiences like this are often explained as stress-induced visual hallucinations,
Especially late at night.
particularly if someone's emotionally heightened, tired, anxious, or maybe a little bit hyper-focused.
Which William arguably was during the phone call.
But there's another side to this.
The paranormal explanation.
That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal researchers often describe apparitions as partially formed visual manifestations.
Which weirdly matches William's description almost perfectly.
The glowing, the fading, the not quite human appearance.
And interestingly, many sightings involve witnesses sensing a presence before actually seeing anything visually.
Which honestly might be the eeriest part of all of this.
Now, I caught up with William the other day, and he said the other things did occur there. Furniture was moved, bins were upended, and I won't use the exact description he said, but he never went back there much after that.
And really, who can blame him?
Tell us at home what you think. Have you experienced anything similar? Our email address and socials are coming up at the end of the show.
So let's talk about the description of what William described. So that face was there, but like not there at the same time. It was like it was there and it wasn't. But there was enough detail to see the beard and enough of the kind of facial features.
Yeah, that's quite clear. I think as well with, when people tell stories, a lot of the time they see something, they look away and it's gone. But not with this one.
No, it's weird that it was still there, yeah.
Undeniable.
Like you say, you get stories of people seeing something, doing a double take, and then it's gone.
Yeah, that thing out the corner of your eye, and then you go, oh no, there's nothing there. It's the fact that when he was telling me this, he was saying he was on the phone, he kind of looked, and he's went, oh, that's a face. Turned away and went, oh, I'm imagining that. That's not happening. Then looked
Let's
again,
have another look.
and it's still there. Because that doesn't normally happen, does it?
No, exactly. I mean, it definitely wanted to make itself known. Like, hello, I'm definitely here, and I'm not going. Yes, do look again,
I wonder who it was. Has he given you any history of I know it's a flat in an old town, but I wonder who it was.
Well, that's the thing. Going back, that was probably, that was the university days for William and his pals. So I think that probably where they were staying probably was likely like student accommodation.
Probably
type thing.
Converted, like old buildings that are converted, maybe. I don't know.
To be fair, I haven't had that confirmed by him, but I'm just going by what
just
I'm
a thought
imagining.
of a lot of places do end up being like old Victorian conversions.
So it probably had a high turnover probably every year or so of kind of people kind of moving in, moving out. But it is an old town, an old area.
Yeah.
There were clearly things happening in the flat. He was talking about bins being
Eesh.
upended, things getting moved. And it sounded like his mate and other people just kind of almost got on with it a little bit.
Yeah, accepted. And thought,
obviously, his friend's girlfriend at the time was freaked out by seeing that at night.
Well, yeah, you would.
But it sounded like he didn't see it.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of an interesting one. But obviously, they were lucky enough to kind of, I guess, get away from that. And it'd be interesting if anybody lives in the Stirling area that has these similar experiences, then please do get in touch, because this could still be happening.
Yeah, and if it is happening to you, do they have a beard?
And please reach out, definitely.
Yeah, well, that's it, because this was probably a small snapshot of this kind of haunting. We don't know when it started, what started it, what kicked it off.
And probably no one else will tell the next people staying at the flat, what they've experienced. They just want to get out and get gone,
Oh, exactly.
Away from that, Mr. Beardy.
And that's it. And you don't know what's happened after. You never know. Somebody a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more connected might have moved in, might have been seeing things and maybe got the place cleansed, and maybe it's moved on. Or you don't know. Obviously, Stirling is quite a bloody place. It does pop up in the good old medieval movies. When you look at things like Braveheart, things like that. It was an important place that, there's certain places in Scotland, like Stirling, Perth, all these places that had lots of things happening. You got Stirling Castle as well, which is like a smaller version of Edinburgh Castle to a degree. You got the Wallace Monument near there, so it's a really, really old place. So unfortunately, as he said, it was mainly just the face he saw, which I think is enough to put the frighteners up. But we never saw clothes. We couldn't really get a judge of the era or anything.
Yeah.
So as William obviously turned away and looked again, and it was still there, I have a slight story that it made me think of from when I was quite young. I was like in my early 20s, really poorly when I was young. And I remember I'd recently got home from hospital. I was just laying in my bed, just feeling absolutely grotty. And, it was nighttime. And I just remember opening my eyes. I looked at the ceiling. And there was like a tiny green light. It wasn't on the ceiling. It was just sort of above me, between me, obviously in the ceiling above. And I thought, what is this? Right, so I pulled up my duvet, as we all do. That's the mechanism, the coping mechanism for spooky stuff. So yep, covered my head. I thought, right, give it a few moments. Okay, right. And then I pulled the duvet down again, looked up, and it was still there. Yeah, so I just turned over and went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Luckily, this was not, scary Mr. Beard, because I think I would have needed a change of, bedding and everything.
Pantaloons.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like it since. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was anything bad. I don't know what. Yeah, a tiny green orb, tiny, like a little star.
Maybe it was somebody just looking out for you because you weren't well.
I hope so.
Well, I do like the coping mechanism
Yeah.
that we all kind of have. It's the same as when you're
It's
a kid.
the go-to, isn't it?
To now, hide under the covers.
Yep, that's your safe space.
It's
Yeah.
safe there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody will get you because you're under that cover.
Yeah, you do,
Works in
babe.
every horror film. Actually, I'll link that to something I've seen myself. We've done between us all, Alison, Kathryn, and myself, we've done lots of ghost hunts. We've done the Edinburgh Vaults. We've been to there's so many places. The Hellfire Caves. We've spent the night in haunted pubs. So many locations. I think probably our favourite is the Edinburgh Vaults.
Oh,
We've
I
done
love that place.
both
Yeah.
sets. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's just
So much that we experienced
good.
there. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we spent the night
Oh.
in there. And yeah, there was lots
We've done
of
a
things.
couple of nighttime events there, definitely.
Yeah, spent the night there with a sleeping bag, which actually is the most pointless thing to bring.
No, because you're too busy. You're too busy,
You're not gonna sleep there.
checking it out and
But yeah,
exploring.
the one thing was we went to Margam Castle in Wales, in Port Talbot in South Wales, and we did a ghost hunt there. Now, it's not an actual castle. It was a manor that was built by this kind of rich man, but he wanted to call it his castle because, I guess it makes you feel important and,
Status.
Status, yeah, exactly. And when we were there, now most ghost hunts, I don't tend to see a lot. I hear things sometimes, smell things, hear things on voice recorders, but I've never really properly seen something. There's something in my childhood, I think, that I did see once, and I might go into that in another pod. But the one thing that I did see here at Margam Castle, we went up to the top layer, which was the top floor is the word, and it was where the kind of kids were, where all the kind of maids would have been. The nursery.
Yeah,
that's right. That is the word. Thank you, Kathryn. And when I was up there, we were kind of in a circle singing Ring a Ring of Roses. I think it was just to try and see if we could get any activity.
Because we were all feeling really drained by that point, and I was just like, oh, I need my bed now. It's really early in the morning.
So when we're doing that, I'm looking behind me. And actually, I don't know why I was looking behind me. I was staring behind me.
Yeah, and I noticed you were. And I was like, what is he looking at?
And I was just staring at a corner of the wall where there was a corner and there was kind of some windows on one side and there was kind of almost like I think it went into a corridor. Now, when I was looking there, and this honestly is 100% the truth. This is something I've never seen before. This is something I cannot explain. But what I can only describe as an orb. Now, I've seen pictures of orbs. There's a lot of debate about whether orbs in photographs are real, dust particles, or maybe something else. But I physically saw an orb with like a trail. It was like a white, slight maybe blue hue on it a little, but it was mainly white. Kind of came round the corner, kind of moved along, and then just scooted off. And it was definitely something intelligent. It was definitely something big. It was not a torch. And I was just like, of course, because me being a Scotsman and seeing something, I went, oh, what the everybody's then just crapped themselves. I'm like, did anybody see that? Nobody saw it,
No,
of
it's
course.
just you, yeah.
It was just me that
I wish
saw
I had
it.
seen it, but
I was always the guy at these things that when people go, oh my God, do you see that? Do you see that? I'm like, no, I've not seen it. Not seen any of it. But then I had my one. So there we go. But I was just like linking that because it looked like the colour of it, the way it looked.
And you said it changed direction as well.
It changed direction and kind of looked like it was going to go one way and then went another way, which was quite strange. So definitely was some intelligence behind it. But Alison, have you had anything like that at all?
No, I have not. I don't see things. Have I seen anything? I don't think I have. If I have, it'll come back to me and I'll tell you on another podcast. But I hear things.
I tend to feel things more than... I've heard things, but I mostly get the feels for things. Like, yeah. We'll definitely talk about the things we've experienced in time.
Our own personal experiences and what they've done to us and how it's made us how we are today. Yeah.
Agreed.
This is a ghost story.
Next time on This Is a Ghost Story. It started with a dream. A simple dream in front of an old cathedral. But something was watching.
A shadow figure that refused to leave. A face in the darkness. A growl in the middle of the night.
Then came the nightmares. The sleep paralysis. The feeling that something was standing beside the bed, watching, waiting.
And at the centre of it all, an old wardrobe with a mirror that one listener became convinced was connected to everything that followed.
Was it stress? Sleep paralysis? Or had something far darker entered her home?
Join us next time for Mirror Mirror on the Wardrobe.
Trust us. You won't look at mirrors the same way again.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Is a Ghost Story.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are absolutely everywhere now. We are now on YouTube. So just search This Is a Ghost Story, all one word, to find us on there.
So we are on Twitter or X at a Ghost Story Pod.
We're on Facebook. This is a Ghost Story.
And Instagram, This Is a Ghost Story, all one word.
Or you can find us on TikTok at this.is.a.ghost.story.
Please leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And remember, if you have a paranormal experience that you would like us to read on the show,
please email us at thisisagghoststory@icloud.com.
We'll see you next time.
This is a ghost story. Sweet dreams.